His name is Peter Baldwin, and he's the founder of Bird Dogs Shorts. You've probably seen him on Shark Tank, where Mark Cuban obliterated his pitch. Look, Mark, he'll admit it. The invention of the first ever stretch khaki shorts that feel amazing, look amazing, and can wear literally anywhere wasn't his best idea. But he's got more, like Dog Trader, just like Auto Trader, but you can sell your old dog. Eh? Mark, I know you'd invest if you just gave him one more shot. So go to birddogs.com/radio and join the 2 million men who think Bird Dogs shorts are a great idea. Or DM Mark Cuban and tell him to give Peter one more shot.
Life comes with a lot of decisions, and it can be hard to know the right path sometimes. A therapist can help you map out what you really want, so you trust yourself to make great choices and feel excited about the future. BetterHelp offers convenient professional online therapy on your schedule, however you want it, by phone, chat, or video call. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Daily, KFH. It's all Brockton Caster. Glad to be here with you. Tommy, the Pac-12 is not going to have an announcement on a new media deal Friday at Media Day. Surprise, surprise to nobody, right, at this point. Now, it fool me once, right? Shame on me, kind of a deal here. It's they're saying it's because, and according to reporting Dennis Dodd and others, that it's because other people have stepped to the table in the bidding. But I think that logically we have to say because there's not a good enough deal in place. Now I will say this: they acted too slow. They got trumped by the Big 12, getting a deal done first and quickly. But I'm to the point now, Tommy, there is a little unease currently in the economy, obviously. We're seeing the media landscape and the job slashes and all that. Like, everybody's preparing. And now I sort of wonder, like, if we come out of that, and I'm an optimist, and I think that we will, but if we come out of that sooner than later, and we're sitting here on the way out of it, and everyone then becomes that optimistic, their deal doesn't expire until July of 2024. Is there any advantage, you think, to the Pac-12 now sort of waiting, which seems counterintuitive to, what we thought all along, but, like, what if they do wait until another 6 months to sort of let things settle? Because I'm not quite sure how much worse, again, just in the media landscape, right, things are going to get, because the slashes are happening now. The budget cuts and all that stuff, that's happening right now in the industry. I don't know that it's going to keep happening for 6 months, and I suppose there's a chance it could start to go the other way where everyone's like, oh, you know what, it's not going to be so bad. Let's make a big investment here.
Yeah, I'm reading the article from ESPN about how the deal won't be announced at Media Day, and they have this unnamed source who says...
Which is a Pac-12 official.
Right. Our 10 schools have been ridiculously patient. That patience is about to pay off. Okay, is it really? Because, kind of like you, fool me once, I just don't believe it. And I'll believe it when I see it, I guess. But all we've heard for months is it's coming, it's coming. Just wait, be patient. We've got some, and they have nothing. If they had something, you better believe they would have announced it by now. Right. Because there is literally no benefit to waiting to announce a deal if they already have it done. There is none. Because if you announce it, then you calm the waters with the schools. It probably makes Brett Yormark and the Big 12 back off a little bit on the schools that they want to pursue in the Pac-12, because it makes the member schools in the Pac-12 a little bit more comfortable with the future. So there's no benefit to holding on to something and waiting. And if they actually had something ready to go, they would have said it by now. And I've heard all of these different, speculations about it's going to be a mix of linear and digital and streaming. And okay, I don't care. I just want to know what's going on. And if I'm one of the member schools, if I'm the president of Colorado, or if I'm, at Oregon or whatever, I just want to know what I'm getting myself into for the next decade plus. I don't believe that there really is anything of significance until I actually see it.
I don't either. And I'm not sure that they're saying there's something of significance other than they either don't have one at all, Tommy, or they're going to be content to wait and let as many bidders come into the process. Like now, so San Diego State, the Mountain West lets them back in today, basically. You cover the legal fees we had to go through to get this, and we'll let you back in. San Diego State was obviously had the wool pulled over their eyes by the Pac-12. If San Diego State's not out there, I mean, I guess SMU's not that much of a needle mover that, it's holding anything up. I mean, the Pac-12 may just say, you know what, if it ain't there, we're going to wait. And I'm not so sure that's not the wrong play here, because if it's not there, that means there's not a good one there. And the worst thing you can do if you're the Pac-12 is sign a bad one, right? Like that's what the ACC's dealing with now, which is going to become just a massive problem for that league very soon. It already is. Like they're so far lapped by the field because of their bad deal, and it's so binding for so long that's like the worst thing you can do. So signing a bad deal to me is worse than waiting for on a slim hope that a better one might come. Now, there's more inherent risk, I think, in that you get poached for sure, because I think at some point schools have to be like, we can't take that sort of a risk. But the Pac-12's in sort of a survival mode anyway, right? So if there's not a deal there, which I'm with you. And we've said this all along. If there was a good deal, they'd have already signed a good deal. This all tells me there's not a good deal, clearly. And if there's not a good deal, I'm not so sure that the best play isn't just to hang tight and see if the troubling waters economically across the landscape right now calm and cool a little bit as we get into...
But if you hang tight and you don't do anything and you just say, you know what, we're going to let our current deal continue to run for now, and we'll revisit this in 6 months or a year when maybe things have settled down in the landscape. At that point, what is keeping the member schools in the Pac-12 from getting antsy and wanting to jump ship? And what would be keeping a conference like the Big 12 from going out and trying to poach them?
That's the risk, but I mean, at some point, you do want to still earn the most that you can, because let's flip that around a little bit. Let's say they go now with a deal that's not great, like not the best it could be, and now you've got member institutions looking at it like, well, that's not a very good deal. I mean, you run that risk of them wanting to leave anyway, right? Yeah. Like, so I think the risk on that is involved both ways. And you just sort of have to hope for blind faith. And at the same time, if you're the Big 12, I mean, you're all over this news yesterday. Hey, guys, I told you so. Like, they don't have a deal. We've got one, and it's great. And you could come jump in right now and be a part of what we're growing. Because there's two very clear arrows on the leagues, right? One's pointed up and one's at best pointed sideways, and maybe worse than that. Like, you just keep making that pitch. And look, we think Colorado's a really attractive ad for the Big 12. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I mean, what if you heard Phil Steele earlier this week. Vegas is, their win total on Colorado is like 3.5 games, right? Like, we think they're going to be interesting, and I do still contend they'll be the most interesting team right out of the gates. Going to
get a lot of attention regardless if they win.
But they might win 4 games this year, right? So, and what looked like this massive collection of talent for Prime has now been a hot mess. So, yeah, that could go sideways.
I mean, is there another program in America that would be more interesting in winning only 3 games? I don't think so. I mean, like, they're going to get so much attention one way or another that I'm not sure the win total really even matters for the eyeballs long term, but for the eyeballs on the product this season, the win total doesn't really matter.
If they win 3 games this season, the eyeballs next season are going to go down significantly, though, is what I'm saying.
You think so?
Like,
because I think that it's good.
What's the long-term value?
With Prime there and the way that he's wanting to build that program, and it's like Hard Knocks in college football, right? Like, there are reasons why cameras follow Dion around wherever he goes. I think that you would have still a significant amount of eyeballs, even if Colorado only wins a couple of games this year, because people want to see what he's going to do.
Do you remember how much attention Memphis basketball had when Penny first got there and put together all those classes? That same sort of attention isn't still there with Memphis. Like, it wears off. That shine wears off unless you're winning at an insanely high level, or definitely more than like 3 games, right? We've had celebrity coaches. Les Miles was a celebrity coach of some sort, or tried to be, in Lawrence. If Prime doesn't win games there, how attractive is Colorado? Now, I would still contend, honestly, that they'd be attractive because I think their football profile would enhance in the Big 12. So I would still take them, right? And I would absolutely take Arizona. Arizona would be my, outside of Oregon and Washington, of course, who aren't going to come. Arizona would be the team that I would be the most locked into if I was the Big 12. They fit the profile to me as much as Colorado does. So they'll continue. You better believe they'll continue having that conversation as the Pac-12's feet drag on this. And if the Pac-12 are dragging their feet because they think a better deal can come, at this point, I don't know that they have much of a choice. It tells me, it makes me fear for them that the deal that is on the table is so bad that they're just willing to not take a deal right now. That's where if I'm a member institution, I'm like,
yeah.
Ugh, like, you think there's going to be more bidders now? Like, why? Why would there be more bidders now that weren't there 6 months ago? That just tells me that what you have is very bad.
How much of this San Diego State debacle is San Diego State peeking behind the curtain of the Pac-12 and then saying, you know what? I think we might hang out in the Mountain West for a little while longer, versus the narrative of the Pac-12 never inviting San Diego State. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the inner workings of all of this, but it wouldn't surprise me if San Diego State got a little bit of a look into the way that all these negotiations have gone with the Pac-12 and said, yeah, actually, on second thought, we might go back to the Mountain West and try to make that work for at least a couple more years.
I'm not sure there's much doubt about that. Like, whether it was a look behind the curtain or whether it was an ice bath of reality of like, oh crap, like they're not ready for that. We're out on an island here. They were very dishonest with how far along this thing was, and now we're like, oh,
because
no.
Wasn't the narrative that the Pac-12 never actually invited San Diego State, and that was kind of what everybody rode on for a while, and even from the beginning of that, I thought, okay, I don't think it's that as much as San Diego State realized they made a mistake because the Pac-12 is nowhere near a point to be able to actually welcome them and give them something of significance.
There's no way San Diego State misread it that badly. I think they were deceived, right? I think that, and good for them that they landed back in the Mountain West. I don't know what the Mountain West was supposed to do because they're lame duck, right? They're going to leave the first opportunity they get. They've obviously showed you that hand. But at the same time, if you're the Mountain West, they do make your league a lot better. I suppose in a relative term, you could equate it to, like, what if everything in the SEC just blew up in Texas and Oklahoma's face last minute? You think the Big 12 would take them back? Of course they would.
Yeah, they would.
Of course they would. So, it's just, it's probably as much that as anything, but they do feel lame duck. I still think in a broader expansion, they'd be a really interesting choice or option for the Big 12, but no deal for the Pac-12. We've been following that thing, so just wanted to give everybody that update. We thought by media days, they could just keep on kicking that can. It's going to fall off a cliff here pretty soon, but we're not going to have it.
Really quickly, how in the hell does George Klavikov keep his job?
We'll see what kind of media deal he comes up with. I mean, that's ultimately it. If he comes up with a good media deal, this is all a moot point. If he delivers, even if it happens last minute and they get a good deal, it's like, well, see, I told you so, and that's fine. Like, then he wins. Then the Pac-12 wins. If they get a great media deal, good for them. Like, that's what. But it's not there now, which is the problem for them. Like, it's clearly not there. 869-1240 is the number to call. Kevin Saul coming up, top of the hour. Next, a chance at a giveaway, and we will go through a couple other items before we get into some shocker talk. The TBT starts tonight. A little later, Mass Street playing at 8 o'clock. Lots to get through today on a Wednesday. It's all Brockton Caster at Sports Daily. Jad Chambers producing, and that IHOP hotline is open. 869-1240. We'll be right back.
So, we've got a number one deluxe meal. Is there anything else I can get you?
Yeah, I'd also like a good night's sleep. Maybe something like the I didn't struggle all night with my uncomfortable CPAP mask.
Sir, I think what you're looking for is Inspire. It's an implant that works inside your body to treat sleep apnea without a CPAP.
Come on! He sounds hangry. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you. And review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.